Hello there, this is Pastor Jeff. It is Tuesday, July 21st, and we enter into our daily lectionary reading. The first one comes from Psalms 139, verses 13 through 22. Oh yes, you shaped me first inside then out. You formed me in my mother's womb. I thank you, high God. You're breathtaking. Body and soul, I am marvelously made. I worshiped in adoration. What a creation. You know me inside and out. You know every bone in my body. You know exactly how I was made, bit by bit. How I was sculpted from nothing into something. Like an open book, you watched me grow from conception to birth. All the stages of my life were spread out before you. The days of my life all prepared before I'd even lived one day. Your thoughts, how rare, how beautiful. God, I'll never comprehend them. I couldn't even begin to count them, any more than I could count the sand of the sea. Oh, let me rise in the morning and live among you. And please, God, do away with the wickedness for good. And you murderers out there, all the men and women who belittle you, God, infatuated with cheap God imitations. See how I hate those that hate you, God. See how I loathe them with all their godless arrogance. I hate it with pure, unadulterated hatred. Your enemies are my enemies. Our Old Testament reading is Genesis 33, 1 through 17, as we continue to learn about Jacob. Jacob looked up and saw Esau coming with his 400 men. He divided the children between Leah and Rachel and the two maidservants. He put the maidservants out in front, Leah and her children next, and Rachel and Joseph last. He led the way out, and as he approached his brother, he bowed 7 times, honoring his brother. But Esau ran up and embraced him, held him tight, and kissed him, and they both wept. Then Esau looked around and saw the women and children. And who are these with you? Jacob said, the children that God saw fit to bless me with. Then the maidservants came up with the children and bowed. Then Leah and her children also bowing. And finally, Joseph and Rachel came up and bowed to Esau. Esau then asked, and what was the meaning of all the herds that I met? I was hoping that they would pave the way for my master to welcome me. Esau said, oh, brother, I have plenty of everything. Keep what is yours for yourself. Jacob said, please, if you can find it in your heart to welcome me, accept these gifts. When I saw your face, it was the face of God smiling on me. Accept the gifts that I have brought for you. God has been good to me, and I have more than enough. Jacob urged the gifts on him, and Esau accepted. Then Esau said, let's start on our way. I'll take the lead. But Jacob said, my master, can you see that my children are frail? And the flocks and herds are nursing, making for slow going. If I push them too hard, even for a day, I'd lose them all. So, master, you go ahead of your servant, while I take it easy at the pace of my flock and children. I'll catch up with you in Seir. Esau said, let me at least lend you some of my men. There's no need, said Jacob. Your generous welcome is all I need or want. So Esau set out that day and made his way back to Seir. And Jacob left for Succoth. He built a shelter for himself and sheds for the livestock. And that's how the place came to be known as Succoth, sheds. Our New Testament reading today comes from the book of Galatians, chapter 4, verses 21 through chapter 5, verse 1. Tell me now, you who have become so enamored with the law, have you paid close attention to the law? Abraham, remember, had 2 sons, by the slave woman and one by the free woman. The son of the slave woman was born by human convenience. The son of the free woman was born by God's promise. This illustrates the very thing we are dealing with now. The 2 births represent 2 ways of being in relationship with God. One is from Mount Sinai in Arabia. It corresponds with what is going on now in Jerusalem, a slave life, producing slave as offspring. This is one of the Hagar. In contrast to that, there is an invisible Jerusalem, a free Jerusalem, and she is our one mother. That is the way of Sarah. Remember what Isaiah wrote. Rejoice, barren women who bears no children. Shout and cry out, and the women who have no birth pangs. Because the children of the barren women now surpass the children of the chosen women. Isn't it clear, friends, that you, like Isaac, are children of promise? In the days of Hagar, Sarah, the child who came from the faithless convenience, Ishmael, harassed the child who came, empowered by the Spirit, from the faithful one, Isaac. Isn't it clear that the harassment you are now experiencing from Jerusalem heretics follow the old pattern? There is a scripture that tells us what to do. Expel the slave mother with her son, for the slave son will not inherit with the free son. Isn't that conclusive? We are not the children of the slave women, but of the free women. Christ has set us free to live a free life. So take your stand. Never again let anyone put a harness of slavery on you. And there ends our reading for the day.